Looks like all the tubes or all the vacuum lines are good, except for this one. Really don't think that's causing an issue. I read that there could be a fuel pressure regulator problem. Yeah, everything looks fine. Spent about 40 bucks at the auto parts store to give me some options for removing the cat. I could chop it out, punch it out with a piece of rebar, and weld it back in. Or I could put it back in with a couple connectors, which will make it easier because I could just use a couple clamps instead of trying to weld up and around the pipe, or drop the whole exhaust to get the full weld around it. So I've got clamps and connectors for 3-inch exhaust to splice the catalytic converter back in, or we'll just chop it out all together and I'll put a down pipe, which is probably what I'll end up doing since it's easier. And I can return a couple things. Alright, there's the cat. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's supposed to be a lot closer to the engine. These heat up and run with unburnt fuel, gases, whatever, coming from the engine. But I also think it kind of needs to, but I'm pretty sure it needs to be close to the engine to heat up. I mean, the exhaust probably is still pretty hot by the time it gets back here, but I've never seen a cat put back this far. They're usually in front of the muffler, not behind it, and a lot closer to the engine, because I think the engine heat helps that get going. So that is kind of weird to me. It's like, I don't know if that's an aftermarket cat. It does kind of look like it could have been spliced in. Maybe, maybe not. If that doesn't fix the problem, we'll move on to the O2 sensor. Since this truck is over 250,000 miles, we're going to go ahead and replace that, even if that's not the problem. You know, there's actually enough room down here. I probably could weld up above these. .4 volts. This battery is definitely going out the door at 12.49. Also, I read in one post that it could be a bad battery, though I think the alternator should be able to support everything else, even with the bad battery, but maybe the computer is being temperamental with that, and we should add that to the list of possibilities. What's wrong with this? So 12.4, let's start it up. A little smoky at first, but it clears up pretty quick. It kind of does seem like the catalytic converter is working though, because it smells steamy. Catalytic converters usually they put out a lot of steam and water dripping out the tailpipe, so I don't know, maybe it doesn't work that far back. I've just never seen that before. With a different design to it or something. It's got this weird grid. Clean. Must be the back side. Yeah, that must be the front side in it. I don't know what that stuff is. It's got some kind of grid screen. It's at a bit of an angle. And that could be a cat. I've never seen one like that before. It's got definitely got some kind of material in there. It looks like little rocks or something. I've always known catalytic converters to be made out of a honeycomb looking type stuff. Could also be granular. That's kind of what that's looking like. It looks like it's packed full of some kind of granules. Just interesting. Okay, I think to keep things simple, I'm just going to slap a downpipe on the end of this and take the rest of the exhaust off. That's just one less thing I got to worry about. And then I got some extra pipe. Might even use a little bit of this to extend this out just a little bit more closer to the rear axle, but I don't think it matters too much. Less work the better. Let's just do this. Clean up the cut there. And then yeah, I'm gonna take this down. Just have one less thing to... That looks kind of cool actually. A little shorty exhaust there. Let's go ahead and do a little sound check. Make sure it's not too loud before I go welding everything up and taking off the back part of the muffler or of the exhaust. Just in case it is too loud. Otherwise I might want to add a little cherry bomb or something to take the edge off, but let's go ahead and do a sound check. That's not too bad at all. A little throatier now, but yeah, not too bad. I can live with that. I don't mind a loud exhaust, but sometimes it can be a little too much. Named this kitty Sneakers, since it likes to sneak around and hang out inside the shop now. Used to be such a skittish stray. It's kind of cool. Little shop cat. Fed him all the old cat food for the cats we had around here, since they all died of old age. So, I had a little cat food for him, or her. Little sneakers. Ran out of cat food though, gave him some slices of ham today. I must be feeding you too much, because you don't really hunt mice anymore, do you? Used to hang out in the barn a lot. Okay. You get noisy in here, kitty. I can't see anything down here. Alright, that turned out pretty decent. A little gust of wind blow by right there, that's alright. A little bit left on the top. Get it as good as I can anyway. Oh. Yeah, that works. Tried my best to get that oxygen sensor out, or at least try and break it loose. We'll do a test drive first to see if that catalytic converter removal helps. But yeah, I wanted to see if I could at least break loose that O2 sensor for later. It is not budging, so might have to put a big pair of vice grips on there. I just can't. It's just rounding off the nut part of it. The sound on this now. It's a little beefier, a little throatier, and the sound comes out evenly on the backside. It's cool, I like it. Doesn't sound as good as a Flowmaster might, but for a quick fix, that's got a pretty decent sound to it. That did not fix it. Still having issues. It's kind of doing the surging thing that Jimmy used to do with his clogged fuel filter, so maybe I should check that again or look into the fuel pressure regulator. Somebody mentioned screens in the throttle body, some like filters that I should also look at. It's completely floored. Okay, it was not the cats. We'll move on to the O2 sensor next. See if I can even get that thing out.